फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone, you're watching Cricket Next. I'm Surama Kaushik and we are here with the result of the first test match between India and England. England have won the first test by 28 runs. Now, incredible performance by England bowlers and batters, but what a performance by Indian cricketers. Well, we'll talk about that in detail in this live session, but let me tell you that before the series began, there was a lot of chit-chat about baseball. It seems that baseball has already won a match here in India. What about the next matches? What about this whole series? Let's hear it out from Sahil Malhotra, Taus Rizvi, and Kanav Mali. Hello, gentlemen. Good to see you here. Obviously, not so good result for the Indian team today. But Sahil, do you think that this Indian team really deserved to see this result? Because the way they performed with bat and ball, it was completely disappointing. And also the captaincy. What do you have to say about it?
I think not just right now, starting from the Indore test against Australia, Border Gavaskar Trophy, this management was showing signs of being very timid, of not being adventurous, of when you focus on the pitch so much that you have to have a look at the pitch every second hour. I think you are definitely playing with the head of your players, and that is exactly what has happened in Hyderabad. There were no demons in the pitch. There was nothing wrong with the pitch. कोई अगर बोले कि मतलब pitch के चक्कर में हम हारे, not at all. I think the onus really lies with the likes of Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Dravid, the entire management. Me and Taus were discussing just before the show got underway. Everyone has to be held accountable, boss. You can't lose 2 test matches of your last 4 played on home soil. One came against Australia in Indore, where you again messed up with the pitch, and this time again you messed up with the tactics. You let Ollie Pope score those many runs in your home conditions. Are you telling me that Australia will serve those runs to Ollie Pope on a platter when he goes and plays the Ashes in Australia? Is that going to be the case? Because we were clearly short of options and ideas when it came to bowling against Ollie Pope. We stuck to that one approach. That is it. We were not adventurous. We were not brave. We did not try enough things. When the wickets aren't coming, try to restrict the flow of runs. What मतलब बेसिक्स है ये, रणजी ट्रॉफी के अंदर बोला जाता है बेसिक. विकेट नहीं आ रहा तो एक एंड पकड़ के 2 या 3 रन पर ओवर से मार खाओ. या अश्विन इज गोइंग एट अराउंड 4, जडेजा इज गोइंग अराउंड 4. Except Bumrah, forget the amount of wickets he took in the first test. I think except Bumrah, no bowler actually looked like trying things. I remember the first innings against Ben Stokes. He got Ben Stokes with a ripper. But I think the variations which he used against Stokes, he was bowling off-cutters, he was bowling Yorkers. That is not something which you see that often in a test match. And that was clearly Bumrah telling his teammates, boss, when things don't happen, try to make that happen. This Indian team doesn't look brave enough to make things happen. That has been my biggest concern ever since Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Dravid took over from Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri. ब्रवाडो नहीं है वो गेम के अंदर. हम बहुत टिमिड लगते हैं. किसने आज बोला यशस्वी जायसवाल को कि जाके 10 बॉल ब्लॉक कर? वो उसका नेचुरल गेम था. Is this how he batted against Hartley in the first innings? Just look at the stark contrast between his approach in the 2 innings. He looked a completely different batter in the second innings. Clearly someone told him, just go and block, see yourself in, buy your time. That was not going to be the case. आपने टॉम हार्टली को टप्पा सेट नहीं होने दिया फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में. सेकंड इनिंग के अंदर आप क्या कर रहे हो? सिली पॉइंट है, क्लोजिंग फील्डर्स हैं, यू आर लुकिंग टू डिफेंड हिम ऑफ द फ्रंट फुट व्हेन द पिच इज कीपिंग लो, व्हेन देयर इज स्लो टर्न एंड अ लॉट ऑफ टर्न बट स्लो टर्न. क्लियरली समवन मेस्ड अप विद द टैक्टिक्स. बॉस, मैं अगर कैप्टन होता, आई होप मैं बनूं, मैं यशस्वी जायसवाल को बोलता 10 में 60 बनाएंगे, मैच किल करेंगे. दैट्स हाउ यू किल स्मॉल टारगेट्स. यू डोंट अलाउ द ऑपोजिशन टू dominate you. We allowed the opposition to dominate us. We were well aware of the fact that Shubman Gill is struggling for runs at 3. So a start was very important. A brisk start was very important. और आपने 230 के मतलब मैं तो कहूंगा आपने you made a mountain out of a mole. That is what I can say about this target.
Absolutely. Yep. That's absolutely right, Sahil, because
It started the way we approached this morning. We leaked around 100 runs in the morning session. First hour of play completely dominated by Oli Pope. Then he was doing the job with Rehan Ahmed and Tom Hartley. That's not explainable, boss. Someone needs to explain what was going on. मतलब आप ऐसा disinterested क्यों आए थे यार? मतलब that मोहम्मद
Yep.
सिराज शॉट, लास्ट शॉट, मतलब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा आपको सिराज और बुमराह वहां से गेम जितवा देते, बट वो शॉट ने सम अप कर दिया है पूरा मैच क्या था. Clueless. We
Yep.
were clueless. That is what we were. We took such a healthy lead और उसके बाद आप मेरे को कह रहे हो आप 25-30 रन से अपने घर पे 28 रन, if I'm not, कितना रन, 28 रन,
Yep.
25 रन,
28,
हाँ,
yes, 28 run.
28 runs, you're losing a test match when you had such a big lead on this surface. Boss, you need to wake up and smell the coffee because it's a 5 test series. If you continue this way, और अब आप जाके मुझे पता है अखाड़ा बनवा दोगे वाइजैक के अंदर, तो मेरी तो अब समझ से परे है what these guys are doing.
No, that's really right, Sahil, because we're just talking about the whole match, and same thing. India got a good lead of 190 runs, and today we're discussing how England have won the first test by 28 runs. It's totally unacceptable. Thus, a lot of things are being said about Rohit Sharma. Rohit himself said that this match needed character and bravery. We were not brave enough to take chances. We haven't taken chances. At the end of the day, all these words are just words. You can just say and you can get out of that scenario. You can say a lot of good things on mic that we could have done this, we could have done that, but from past few years we aren't seeing anything happening on ground, especially in this match. If we take this match in consideration, it seemed that India let England win this match.
Absolutely, and the match was won when Pope scored 196. You could see exactly how this guy, the way we reacted to the in the fourth innings. वहां से हम मैच हार गए थे जब ओली पोप ने बैटिंग किया. I was just counting the boundaries. 84 runs he got in boundaries. This guy scored 196 runs. 84 minus 196. 100 के ऊपर रन से भागा है वो. तो कितना इजीली उसने रन्स लिया है, कलेक्ट किया है और कितना डीप रखा. आई मीन आई वाज लाइक इन द पास्ट videos I defended Rohit Sharma saying that it's easy. I mean, it becomes difficult for a captain if the runs are leaking through. You need to have players at the boundary line. But आप कैसे और कितना और डिफेंड कर सकते हो रोहित शर्मा को, क्योंकि आपने अप्रोच अनफॉर्चुनेटली वैसे ही रखा है. आपने बॉलर्स को भी डिफेंसिव माइंडसेट पे बना दिया है. आप अटैक नहीं कर रहे हो, चाहे वो बैट से हो या बॉल से हो. एंड दैट इज वन ऑफ द रीजंस. ओली पोप ने जहां इतना लंबा बैटिंग कर दिया, वहां पर ही इन्होंने अपने हथियार, shoulders सब नीचे डाल दिए. And that was one of the reasons. And you're talking about the whole approach that we have been having. It's been the same. I mean, we have been very timid. We have set a pattern. आप typical pattern रखे हो. टेस्ट मैच में हमको जाके ऐसे बैट करना है, ऐसे रखना है, वही बॉलिंग रखना है. अगर आप इंडिया में खेल रहे हो, वही 2 स्पिनर्स खिलाने, अश्विन जडेजा के ऊपर रिलाई करना है. बाहर जाओगे, मोहम्मद सिराज, जसप्रीत बुमराह या मोहम्मद शमी, आपने वैसे ही रखा. You have not taken any bold steps. I mean, there are no ideas. We are lacking ideas. Where are the strategies? I mean, look at these guys. They came out with their rookies. Look at Tom Bartley. He was scoring for the first time. Look at this guy, the other guy, Rehan Ahmed. He may not have bowled, but he batted superbly in condition that was spinning. I mean, the wicket might have been easier for batter, but it was turning. Look at Tom Bartley, how he bowled in the second innings. He was looking more dangerous than Ashwin and Jadeja. Completely clueless यार. ये मैच इंडिया का ही था. They should have gone India's way. We have lost because of 196 by Oli Pop. आपने शोल्डर उधर ही गिरा दिए completely.
Okay. Well, we have Vineet Ramakrishnan with us live from Hyderabad. Vineet, welcome to the live session. I remember that yesterday when we were doing a live, you said that even if England take a lead of 200 odd runs, India can still win this match. But now we already know that how England have won this match. What went wrong with Indian batters? Can you please throw some light on that?
Murphy's Law, everything that could go wrong went wrong. That's what it was. Look, it was lack of application. That's what it eventually came down to. First of all, to start off with the chase of 230, look at how Ben Stokes attacked with his field placements.
Yeah.
Backward shot leg, silly point, leg slip, Yashvi Jaiswal, 2-3 shot mare, ek, played round the legs, caught it. leg slip. Then you had Shubman Gill ne khela. It was just what you call that attacking mindset that Ben Stokes put the pressure on India early on, and by the time Jaiswal and Shubman Gill got out, I mean Rohit Sharma थोड़ा हालत पतली हो गई थी वहां पे, and credit will have to give to Tom Hartley the way he bowled. Vast improvement in terms of what he bowled in the first innings to the second innings. Quick learner, and also he had that confidence of his skipper, the attacking field as well. Shreyas Iyer again. I mean, nothing. He's apparently the best player of spin. Didn't look like he was the best player of spin out there. KL Rahul, such a casual approach. I mean, you're getting out to Joe Root, when you go on the back foot, you got to get the bat down quickly. Just lethargic approach to that kind of a dismissal. From there onwards, it was India catching up, and Jo Shrikar Bharat or Ashwin ne kiya, theek hai. Made that match a bit more dramatic, but the game was lost when India lost the fourth wicket. I mean, I think Hartley took that fourth wicket also, or I think it was Joe Root. As Taus mentioned, very timid approach, lack of ideas. This was something Rahul Dravid also mentioned at the presser. Though there was a very baffling statement from Rahul Dravid. He was asked, what went wrong, exactly what you asked. And he said, this is one of those games where, you have to just concede the fact that the opposition played better. In particularly pointed out Oli Pope and said, I will shake his hand. He played better. I mean, as a coach, as somebody, okay, you want to put out a brave face, you don't want to put out controversial statement or statement that can be concluded. But if that is the mindset you are going ahead with, despite such a heavy loss and despite, England snatching a victory out of you, and that really shows. I mean, it's lack of ideas, as Taus mentioned, and I could see that there. He was asked what happened to our this young talent, young crop of batters, जिनको spin खेलना नहीं आता है, generation आपके generation अच्छा खेलती थी. You know what his answer was? He was like, ऐसी बात नहीं है. The pitches has been challenging. I mean, if the pitches have been challenging, look at Oli Pope coming into India after such a lengthy injury layoff, shoulder surgery के बाद आए हैं. The last time he played in India, he had a grand total of 35 runs. If that guy can adapt and play such an innings, पहले innings पे कितना 1 रन पे आउट हुआ था 10 बॉल खेल के, he could adjust to that conditions. You are telling me that Shreyas Iyer, Shubman Gill or KL Rahul could not adjust? I mean, he scored an 86 in the first innings, but यहाँ पे, I mean, you should have had a continuation to that. No, at least take the onus on trying to do something. It was not there. Captaincy wise, yes, timid. The bowling was flat. Ashwin, Jadeja, the way they were bowling in the first session today, allowing England to score 75 odd runs in 16 overs. Look at how Tom Hartley bowled. Look at how, I mean, it's baffling to even say that. Look at how Tom Hartley bowled, and that is how Jadeja and Ashwin should have bowled. They were flat. It was an off day for them. Bowling aside, but batting. Yes, 230. Rahul Dravid said 230 बड़ा challenging total है. I mean, Sahil is here, I am here. We were talking about it. 230 तो बन जाएंगे. ऐसी कोई आफत वाली बात नहीं है. And the pitch पे कोई ऐसा आफत वाली बात थी भी नहीं. You made like, in one of those sessions, Jamie had mentioned, एक time था जब साउथ अफ्रीका के बॉलर पॉल हैरिस को आपने लॉर्ड हैरिस बना दिया था. यहाँ पे हमने टॉम हार्टी को लॉर्ड हार्टली बना दिया. एंड दैट्स द केस विद एवरी अदर बॉलर. मैथ्यू कुनमैन आता है, टॉड मर्फी आ रहा है, डॉम बेस आ रहा है. सबको आप ऐसे ट्रीट कर रहे हो कि भैया पता नहीं 300-400 विकेट खेले हुए हैं. जस्ट अ वेरी टिमिड अप्रोच. इफ यू आर सीइंग स्वीप शॉट्स आर बीइंग प्लेड, आपके वहां पे एक्सेस तरीके से वो खेल रहे हैं, ट्राई एंड डू समथिंग. नो, अगर नहीं चल रही है, स्ट्रेट बैट नहीं चल रहा है, आप ट्राई तो करो. कितने स्वीप शॉट मारे? आई थिंक रोहित शर्मा मेड स्कोर, hit one sweep shot for a 4. Jaiswal hit one sweep shot for a 4. Okay, these guys are not natural sweepers. Play good players of sweep. Understood, but at least try to karo. Shreyas Iyer could have accessed those areas, right? कहीं तो कुछ तो प्रेशर उल्टा उनके पे डालते. आपने प्रेशर डाला ही नहीं. And this is what Ben Duckett, Oli Pope and others did. They put the pressure back on Indian bowlers. Indian batters did not put the pressure on the England bowlers. As simple as that in the second innings when it was needed.
Okay, Vineet, tell me something about the pitch. Do you think that pitch helped the England bowlers more? Because, after the match, Rohit Sharma said that I wanted Siraj and Bumrah to take the match to day 5. So something different could have happened. We could have added 20, 30 more runs or so. So anything on those lines? What about the pitch?
Pitch is good. It's a true pitch. To put it simply, it was a true pitch. It had something for the batters, it had something for the bowlers. Oli Pope showed that if you apply, you can get runs. So Tom Hartley showed if you apply yourselves, you will get wickets. It's as simple as that. There was nothing on the pitch. There's no criticism on the pitch. It was a true wicket. If India had asked for a turning raging turner, this was not a raging turner. But also remember, India would not have asked for a raging turner because they knew indoor में क्या हुआ था. They wanted a balanced pitch at the start of the series just to see कि एक डिसेंट सा हमें मौका मिल जाएगा, जीत सकते हैं. अब देखना वाइजैक में होगा, गड्ढा खोद के जाएंगे ये लोग और खुद भी मरेंगे. They'll hope कि यार नहीं इंग्लैंड कर लेगा. ये बस राम भरोसे चल रहा है. I mean, Rahul Dravid, honestly, one of the greatest players, one of the amazing players to bat, but SHIT coach, man, honestly.
Well, Sahil, do you have any questions for Vineet? I could see you smile throughout when Vineet was saying and he was making his, remarks around Rahul Dravid and all. You want to ask anything to Vineet?
I want
No,
to
I
ask.
just
What?
yeah, Taus bhai, one little thing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. How did you react after every wicket, yaar?
Look, Jaiswal wicket, I was okay, ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Still, there are players who could bat. गिल गया, I honestly no reaction. मेरे को पता था. मतलब लंच सेशन में भी बोला था यार, if I had the bat, I probably would have not prodded that way. But the moment Rohit got out, and to that delivery from Hartley, which was not the not a wicket-taking delivery, to be honest. You just had bat behind your pad. You should have had it before that. वहां से मेरे को लगा कि यार India have lost the plot here. And honestly, from what I saw from Shreyas Iyer in the first innings, I had little hope. राहुल पे फिर भी था मेरे को थोड़ा hope, but राहुल का wicket तो I lost hope from Rahul's wicket. I started writing my report. I was in talks with Sahil in terms of my flight का क्या करूं. I knew कि बस flight मेरे को लेने की जरूरत नहीं होगी वैसे. जो मेरा flight जिस time पे है उसी time पे मैं निकल जाऊंगा. But I don't know. But one thing I will say, Rahul Dravid का एक चीज जो पक्का सही मतलब assess करके उन्होंने बोला. He was asked, where do you think India let go of the match or let go of the advantage? He said in the first innings, they should have added 70, 80 more. That 80 should have been converted to hundreds. And that was on point. 5 of those wickets were gifted to England bowlers. None of them were earned. In the second innings, all of the wickets were earned. So that was one thing I would say, that if that 420, 436 it would have been 480, 490, the complexion of the game would have changed. And I think India lost the plot there. And for once, I thought Dravid was right in the assessment, or he was not trying to put out a brave face.
I think
Okay.
right from that first innings. Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you are.
I think right from that first innings, which Vineet mentioned, and quoting that quote from Rahul Dravid, I think starting with Rohit Sharma, just look at how our batters got out. Starting from Rohit Sharma. Rohit
Yeah.
Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shuman Gill tried to get out in similar fashion, but Ben Stokes couldn't spot that ball. Otherwise, he could have been third casualty to a very very false shot, I would say. Then you
Yeah.
had Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul. These were bizarre dismissals. You don't throw away wickets in a test match, boss. मतलब मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि आप वो करते तो सेकंड इनिंग्स में ऐसा खेलते तो बच जाते, बट मैं ये जरूर कहूंगा कि वहां से पता चल गया था कि दे आर राइडिंग that air of overconfidence, invincibility. Ki boss, we are at home. When the ball turns, there is no one who can kind of beat us. But this team showed us, एक lesson दिया है visiting teams को कि that's how you beat India. You put India under the pump. That's what they did.
Right.
They clearly put India under the pump. I think that first innings, इंग्लैंड ने उतने रन नहीं बनाए, बट वो बेन स्टोक्स का जो अप्रोच था, विकेट्स गिर रही हैं ठीक है, बट विद द टेल when he moved the gear up and the way he was dominating us, it showed that they have come prepared. They have a plan for first innings, they have a plan for their second innings. And
Yeah.
Hartley वाला जो कल चेतन बता रहा था, because he was doing commentary with former England cricketers, that stubbornness to persist with Hartley. I think that shows that he was still ready to back his bowlers no matter how rookie they are. And
Paid off, yeah.
India played into their hand. That approach, I'm sure Vineet would have seen from close quarters, that approach from Yashasvi Jaiswal. किसने उसको बोला कि जाके तू ब्लॉक करना शुरू कर यार? वो तोड़ रहा था फर्स्ट इनिंग में हार्टली को, और तुम हार्टली, you are giving so much respect. Why, boss? This is what, teams like England, teams like Australia, they murder you with their approach. और debutants को वो लोग छोड़ते नहीं है, और हम debutants को one night wonder बना देते हैं. टॉड मर्फी हो, कूनमन हो, ये भाई साहब हो, जेसन क्रेजा, रिमेंबर 8 विकेट. मतलब यहाँ पे आके तो हम खुदा बना देते हैं इन प्लेयर्स को, जैसे इनसे बड़ा कोई प्लेयर नहीं है. ताउस भाई से पूछो, टांगा लीग के अंदर बेटर लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर मिल जाएंगे आपको. Taking nothing away from Tom Hartley, but all I'm saying is you had that opportunity to dominate him, to kind of put him into his place. Boss, this is India. Test cricket is different here. Right now you have put him on a different level, और वो next match के अंदर आपको फिर बोलेगा, क्योंकि अब आप कहेंगे अरे यार इसने 7 विकेट लिया, इसको इज्जत से खेलना पड़ेगा. अरे जैसा जायसवाल, उसको खेलने देने का था. 10 में 60 रन लगाते, कॉन्फिडेंस राइड करते, क्योंकि शुभमन गिल इज अ वॉकिंग विकेट राइट नाउ on these surfaces. Vizag अगर racing runner होता है, Shubman Gill could well be playing his last test of the series, and Rajat Patil walks in at 3 for me there, because 11 innings, your highest is 36. That is it. It's test cricket, boss. You just can't get opportunities on the pattern. That too when you've asked for a number 3 position, so you need to score. There's no explanation and no.
Vineet?
Just to add on to that, what Sahil's point of Ben Stokes ने जिस तरीके से अटैकिंग खेला था, put the pressure on Indian batters, that pressure पहले ही बन गया था. And I would here credit somebody like Ben Duckett, मारे 30-35 रन दोनों innings में, but he showed the way. He was the one who actually showed the way in terms of how to take on these bowlers, and everybody followed. So that Ben Duckett innings, that quick fire 47 and a quick fire 35, that connecting that reverse sweeps and opening up that point, that region point, and that square region, he was actually the one who really kick-started that. And from that itself, you could sense this is what England's game plan was going to be. Yet you were waiting for Ben Duckett to make a mistake. Yet you were waiting for Ollie Pope to make a mistake in the second innings. There was just so much passive thing from as a captain. Bowling perspective हो, चाहे bowling changes हो, चाहे field placement हो. I was baffled by the field placement that Ben Stokes put out here when India came out to bat. इतने सारे लोग सामने खड़े हुए बैट के. India did not have anybody at chilly point. I don't think, not more than for 5-6 overs. That's about it. I think not even that. अब सोच ही नहीं रहे हो यार फ्रॉम अ टैक्टिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. एज आई थिंक साहिल हैड मेंशन कि आप राम भरोसे बैठे हो, अश्विन आएगा, रेजिंग टर्नर 5 विकेट, जडेजा आएगा, रेजिंग टर्नर 10 विकेट, गेम वहीं खत्म. टैक्टिकली आप सोच ही नहीं रहे हो. लुक, आई एम नोबडी टू कमेंट ऑन अ international player, but from whatever we have seen, there's just no tactical approach towards your captaincy or towards the game.
Yeah. Vineet, you mentioned about Ben Stokes and his captaincy. You also talked about how his plans were sorted and how he executed his plans. Tell me about Rohit Sharma, what he could have done differently, because right now everybody is putting questions on Rohit Sharma's captaincy, and they're saying that his captaincy has been passive and there is no aggression, and he really doesn't deserve to be a test captain. On those lines, what do you have to say?
Look, this is something that we have been discussing. I touched upon this earlier as well. 2 instances, again, I'll try to give it to you. Start of the day, yesterday we were discussing 3 overs were remaining before you could take the new ball. The new ball was not taken. You still persisted with Ashwin Jadeja, Axar, Bumrah को आप नहीं लेकर आए. That was the time to go for the kill यार. New ball लेके आपको करना चाहिए था बुमराह को विकेट. Bumrah se wicket you should have expected, and he was pumped up from the first innings. That was a missed opportunity. Your usage of Mohammad Siraj, ठीक है, you had 2 pacers and 3 spinners. अब तुम्हारे spinners were flat. You should have gone to Mohammad Siraj. I'm not saying Mohammad Siraj आपको wicket दे देता. He also bowled really badly, but you should have given him something to bowl. You should have given him the kind of feel to bowl him. The way Ben Stokes backed Tom Hartley, I don't think Rohit Sharma would back मोहम्मद सिराज. आप खिला रहे हैं यार, उसके होम कंडीशन में खिला रहे हैं, पहला इनिंग्स बेकार गया. शुड हैव ट्राइड समथिंग डिफरेंट विद हिम. वो नहीं हो पाया. यू जस्ट रिलाइड ऑन व्हाट अश्विन एंड व्हाट जडेजा and Axar Patel could do. Even from a batting point of view, I mean, the way attended the Ben Stokes conference as well. And as you mentioned, he seemed sorted. Aisa nahi tha, he wasn't sorted. Things worked out for him, but he was brave enough to, back his talk. He walked his talk, so to speak. And the way he was describing that, it was the classic case of, ठीक है, चीजें चल गई, अच्छी बात है. That is what I was expecting from him. वो नहीं था. It was just reactive kind of captaincy, not proactive, if I have to say that. I mean, Virat Kohli was proactive. I'm not saying Virat Kohli was a great captain, not at all. But he was at least proactive. This guy is reactive, not even reactive. His passive reaction हो रहा है इनका. Deserves the captaincy or not, that's a different debate altogether. I think Taos had mentioned in the lunch session कि यार आपके पास और कोई option ही नहीं है, तो you'll go with him. So I'm not saying कि आप captaincy से हटाओ ये करो, but somebody should put some sense into him in the sense कि यार captain हो, captain की तरह सोचने का कुछ तो करो ना यार.
That's right. Okay, so we've heard from Sahil, Taos, and Vineet about the first test match, what went wrong, and what India can do differently. Kanav, what do you think? What should be done in the second test match now? Because we know where we lagged, what happened in the first test. What 2 or 3 things you think should be changed immediately and should be improved for the second test match?
See, Sumit, there's a lot of things that needs to be changed or improved. Play to your game. Don't change your gameplay. Like Sahil said, that Jaiswal hits the ball. Why was he playing the defensive? No idea. But if you're taking team wise, I know Gill will play the next test, but he should not play. I'll rather play Rajat Patidar because Gill bhi run nahi maar rahe. I might as well give someone a youngster a chance to go out there. Youngster in the sense he's 30, but then again youngster in terms of experience. I'll give him a chance to go out there and express himself. I'd like to have Kuldeep in the team. अब डिबेट ये है, कहीं कह रहे हैं अक्षर की जगह, कहीं कह रहे हैं सिराज की जगह. आई डोंट सी टू पेसर्स प्लेइंग टुगेदर ऑन दीस पिचेस. सिराज ने आपको इतना कुछ नहीं दिया, तो आई माइट एज वेल हैव कुलदीप इन प्लेस ऑफ सिराज. बट see, as a captain, Rohit needs to be proactive, as Vineet said, that there's no point leading the side this way because you are not good in tactics, the way you are handling the field placements, the bowling changes and everything. B, your body language, and I have been very, very vocal about Rohit Sharma's body language as captain. I said it during the 23 World Cup final after we lost the match, that his body language, even though it was not the reason for India losing the match, but still his body language, टीवी से दिखता है यार. मैं एज अ फैन बॉक डाउन हो जाता हूँ जब मैं रोहित शर्मा पे कैमरा जाता है, क्योंकि वो इतने डिजेक्टेड होते हैं कि गया मैच. ठीक है, गया मैच, you know practically it's not possible, but you're trying. Even if your fielder or a player wants to try, if he looks at you, he'll get down because you are the leader of the side. You need to be that proactive in your body language. You need to be that active. You need to know क्या करना है. Tactics ठीक है. रोहित शर्मा was never a good test captain. वो नहीं थे, मुझे पता था. It's a makeshift captaincy. विराट stepped down. You needed to have someone. अजिंक्य की टीम में जगह नहीं थी, आपने और किसी को नहीं बनाया, तो you are going with the flow कि जो होगा देखा जाएगा. But he has proved कि he is not a test captain. अब कैप्टनसी का मिड सीरीज हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते, तो ऑब्वियसली नेक्स्ट मैच में दैट इज नॉट रेलेवेंट. बट देन अगेन वी ऑल नो कि अखाड़ा बनने वाला है अगले मैच में. वो पहली बॉल जब गिरेगी और वो VFX वाली मिट्टी नहीं उड़ती पिक्चरों में, वो दंगल में जैसे सुल्तान में थी वैसी मिट्टी उड़ेगी जो हमने इंदौर और हर जगह देखी थी. बट I still believe that I'll have Kuldeep in the team. Siraj, especially a ugly pitch pe, if it's a proper spin friendly, there's no place for Siraj for me, and I'll have Gill out. Although ironically England की टीम में अगर आप खराब परफॉर्म करोगे तो आप बाहर हो जाओगे, लेकिन फिर भी वो fearless खेलते हैं. हमारी टीम में आप जितना मर्जी खराब कर लो, लगातार खेलते रहोगे, फिर भी हम डर के खेलते हैं. तो ये बड़ी आयरनी है इंडिया की टीम में. But then again, I'll have Gill out and I'll have someone like Patidar in the team.
Okay, I'll put this question to our viewers as well. What changes do you want to see in Indian team for the second test match, as India have lost the first one? And with that, we'll go to our rapid fire round. We request my producer to shoot the first one for our panelists. Okay, so KK is saying we miss Sundar and Pant. KK, I've read such kind of comments on social media platforms, and I think a lot of people are saying that. So I understand where you're coming from. Thank you so much for your comment. You can ask your questions from our panelists. So let's move to the next question, please. Kuldeep Singh, India must look ahead of Shubman Gill now. 21 matches are enough, 28 average in test. Kuldeep, I think we have discussed this in our live sessions, but still, I'll take this to Vineet. Vineet, what do you think? Everybody is saying that once Virat Kohli will be back, then Shubman Gill will be the one who will be stepping out of the 11. But what do you think for the second test match? Do you think that Shubman Gill should be dropped from the second test as well?
I don't think Shubman will be dropped. He will play at number three. He will fail, and then he'll be dropped for the third. Funny enough, what I do feel is that at number three is not a position Shubman Gill is should be batting. And ironically, yes, he bats at the middle order in domestic cricket for whatever games that he had played in Punjab for Punjab. I do believe that Shubman Gill is much better utilized at the top of the order when the ball is coming onto the bat nicely. But the fact that you already have a Yashasvi Jaiswal who has scored runs and Maritza plays there, and you have Captain Rohit Sharma as your second opener, Gill के लिए जगह नहीं है. Clearly, Gill is not your ideal player at number three. Yes, he is lacking confidence and all of those things. Set aside from a game point of view, this is what I feel. He's not your number three. Maybe a number four somewhere down the line, 2-3 years later when he's back in some runs, but definitely not number three. And as I said, yes, Gill will play at Vizag, will fail again, and will be dropped across.
Okay. Now, KK is asking why the player like Mayank is out from the squad and player like Gill and Iyer, okay, why Gill and Iyer are in the team and not someone like Mayank. Sahil, would you like to answer this one?
I think Mayank Agarwal, I've touched upon him in a couple of live sessions before, and I do have a feeling that after this Ranji season where he has already hit 200s and a half century for Karnataka, I think he should be back in the reckoning for that opener slot because you don't know how long Rohit is going to stick around, because this series will put a lot of things in perspective with regards to Rohit and his captaincy and how longer he's going to play in red ball cricket. But I have a very strong feeling that Mayank Agarwal could well be considered for an opener for number three. He plays spin well. I don't know, yaar, because they weren't patient enough with Mayank Agarwal. That's all I could say, because it took them 2 brilliant seasons first to have him in the setup, and then it took them just 19 tests to have him out of the setup. And now he has been doing well for the last couple of seasons for Karnataka, and I just hope that better sense prevails and he's back in the reckoning and consideration for the opener or number three slot, because he can bat either at top of the order or at three, because he's good against pace. He plays spin well, very fluent. I kind of feel that this could well be his year of making that comeback.
Okay. Okay, K, I believe you got your answer about Mayank. Let's move to the next one. Maha, okay, it's asking, I want to see Gaikwad in the squad for the third test. He has the temperament for test. Would like to see Kohli, Jurel, Gaikwad in place of Shreyas, Bharat and Gill. Oh, too many changes. Vineet, what do you have to say about all these changes?
The thing is, ठीक है, Kohli तो ठीक आ ही रहा है. Jurel is still too raw, I suppose. Bharat would still, keep his place. और आज तो दिखा दिया कि बैटिंग कर सकते हैं. It took a very, peach of a delivery from Hartley to get him out. Otherwise, थोड़ा spunk तो दिखाया है, तो बैटिंग थोड़ा बहुत दिखा दिया उन्होंने. Keeping is good, so I wouldn't say Jurel. Gaikwad ka, I don't know, he doesn't have the greatest of first class record, is what I know of. So Gaikwad, still time. I mean, maybe first class 2-3 साल, जैसे साहिल ने बताया, मयंक अग्रवाल ने जैसे 2 साल निकाले, वैसे अगर ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ निकालता है, he's been brilliant in white ball for sure, but not that much in first class cricket. Then okay, one more thing I'll add in this squad वाला thing कि okay, we are all discussing कि इंडिया हार गई, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, but ultimately by the end of the series, India would have the series in their bag. Remember, to 2021, India lost in the first test also, comeback किया. All these talks will vanish again. जीत रहे हैं भाई. From a team management point of view, this is just a setback. And just to be fair, वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप के 5 साल हो गए हैं, 18 टेस्ट मैचेस इंडिया खेली है. दिस इज ओनली द थर्ड लॉस, राइट? तो ठीक है, फ्रॉम अ वेरी इंडिविजुअल और अ गेम पर्सपेक्टिव इट इज अ वेरी टेरिबल लॉस. फ्रॉम एन ओवरऑल पर्सपेक्टिव इट इज जस्ट द थर्ड लॉस. Oli Pop played a brilliant innings. ठीक है, you can concede that. There are teething issues, but at the end of those things, ये जो हम कह रहे हैं ना कि wholesale changes कर दो, ये कर दो, वो कर दो, कुछ नहीं होने वाला. क्योंकि
But
जीत
you know,
जाओगे.
Vineet, just adding to your third defeat in the last 5 years, I think the concerning bit for me is two defeats in the last 12 months and one drawn test. So that kind of
Yeah,
Yes.
that kind
Yes.
of is indicating something is not right, and
true.
our struggle against spin. And वो मैं आप जब बोल रहे थे वो राहुल द्रविड़ वाला comment on Oli Pope, an overseas batter is coming to India, is facing Ashwin, Axar, and Ravindra Jadeja. We are struggling against Hartley, Jack Leach, Ryan Ahmed. There's no explanation, Mr. Rahul Dravid, for that.
Exactly.
And overseas
Exactly.
players
Yeah,
facing the best spinners in the world right now in your own backyard. And you just can't doff your hat to that. You need to learn. You need to improve.
exactly.
तो आप भी 2 साल से टीम के साथ हो, 2-3 साल से आपको एक्सटेंशन मिला है. एटलीस्ट गेट द प्लेयर सॉर्टेड बॉस. इट्स नॉट दैट बिग रॉकेट साइंस. पूरा डोमेस्टिक सर्किट अपना रिवैम्प करो ना. मेक द प्लेयर्स प्ले ऑन टर्नर्स, क्योंकि अभी तो सब ग्रीन टॉप पे खेलते हैं 6 पॉइंट के लिए, 7 पॉइंट के लिए. सो पूरा एवरीवन शुड
Yeah.
पे अटेंशन टू द फैक्ट दैट दे आर नॉट प्लेइंग स्पिन वेल. फेस इट. फैक्ट.
Right. Okay, let's move to the next one. If we make Sandpit, then England have more chances to win due to their playing way. Do all the panel think the same? Taos, what do you think about it?
Absolutely, and I've been been saying this. Ki these kind of wickets never assure you, you could go and win the matches, because सामने वाले का भी chances ज्यादा होता है, आपका भी होता है. तो it's like 50-50. It's a jackpot. तो आप अगर रेजिंग टर्नर्स बनाओगे तो आप खुद ही इसमें गिर जाओगे, लास्ट टाइम जैसे ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सामने हुआ था. So, and exactly what happened in this game. The wicket was slow. It was easier on the easier side, but it was turning as well. It was
Yeah.
not vicious turn, but it was turning quite. I mean, the way these guys were beating bad, Tom Hartley, kind of Tom Hartley, to, and Ravindra Jadeja, the way these guys were bowling. I mean, look at that. आप गिर जाओगे खुद ही खड्डे में यार. अब इट्स टफ यार. आप बट यू हैव नो ऑप्शंस. बाय द वे, यू हैव नो ऑप्शंस. आपको इसी तरीके से ही जाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अगर आपने ग्रीन टॉप बनाया तो जेम्स एंडरसन की वापसी होगी, और वो बहुत खतरनाक वापसी होगी. आप समझ जाओ.
वेल ऐसे में ताउस लोग अब फिर पूछेंगे आपसे कि फिर करे तो करे क्या. आपके घर पे आपकी ही पिचेस बन रही हैं, उस पे आप ही नहीं जीत रहे हैं, तो करे क्या वाला सवाल आता है. पर चलिए हम देखते हैं दूसरा सवाल. Let's move to the next one, please. Uday Kumar Singh, Siraj stepping out for a six with 4 balls left in day with less than 30 required. New day morning session with few runs. England would have been in pressure. 50-50 chance next day. Sahil. Okay, Sahil just did this and it's his reply. Kana, what do you have to say?
नहीं, सिराज की वजह से हारे हम. मैं आई वोंट ब्लेम रोहित टू बुमराह का, और कोई नहीं. सिराज वो आगे ना बढ़ता. आज हम रिवर्स कर रहे हो. इट्स उदय, इट्स इट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस. वो रोहित ने भी कहा पोस्ट, वो जो तो अपना प्रेजेंटेशन होती है कि आई वुड हैव लाइक्ड बुमराह एंड सिराज टू टेक इट टू डे 5. पता नहीं क्यों उनको हैदराबाद एक और दिन रहने का मन था शायद. पता नहीं व्हाट वाज ही एक्सपेक्टिंग. यस विनीत.
No, इससे याद आया, Rahul Dravid was asked by one of the journalists कि how good was the fight back from Ashwin and Shrikar Bharat, and Rahul Dravid replied, oh, Ashwin has made us win a few close games. We hope that they could have taken us through. बिल्कुल यही दो थे जो लेकर जाते हैं आपको आगे.
उन्होंने अक्षर को लेके 9वें नंबर तक बैटिंग कराई है, फिर भी नीचे तक उम्मीदें हैं उनकी कि नहीं उनके बाद भी जो आएंगे नीचे के वो शायद जिता. डजंट मेक सेंस यार. व्हेन योर टॉप ऑर्डर इज नॉट वर्किंग, दे आर गिल, जायसवाल, रोहित, दे आर नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग. So I don't see any point in obviously blaming the bowlers here.
और रोहित शर्मा ने भी तो कहा ना. रोहित शर्मा ने कहा कि our lower order batted really well and they taught our top order that you really need to fight. So he said that our lower order is teaching our top order how to fight. तो वो अगले मैच में मुझे लगता है ये नहीं देखने को मिलना चाहिए. समझ चुके होंगे टॉप ऑर्डर की कैसे फाइट बैक करना है. Let's move to the next one. Priyanshu, okay, this one's for Sahil. How long do you see Rohit continuing as test captain? Why not make Bumrah the test captain after this series?
I think Bumrah is next in line. I think they'll be more confident about his workload and the way his body is reacting probably at the end of the series. How much he bowls, how many games he plays, because there's a feeling and school of thought that not all pacers will play all games because they want to keep them fresh for the IPL and the T20 World Cup. अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट्स हाउ आवर बोर्ड ऑपरेट्स कि मतलब इमीडिएट टास्क छोड़ के आगे के ऊपर नजर रहती है, तो आज भी खराब होते हैं और कल तो खराब होना ही है, हमें पता ही है. तो I think Bumrah is next in line for sure, and at least for this World Test Championship cycle, until and unless we end up losing this series and another series at home, then do really badly against Australia, I personally see Rohit leading India in Australia. जो अब हमारी अवे सीरीज आनी है इस साल के एंड में, वहां मैं रोहित को देखता हूं. बट आई थिंक बाय द एंड ऑफ दैट सीरीज विल प्रॉब्ली गेट a very very good idea about where we are heading when it comes to the direction in test captaincy, and I see Bumrah as a prime contender, and don't be surprised if KL Rahul re-emerges as that contender, because middle order role
Okay.
kind of has been a so far so good a situation for him, and the moment Rohit and Virat kind of go out of the setup, then you need someone to be there for the next 4-5 years, and KL Rahul age wise, fitness wise kind of ticks those boxes, calm head on his shoulders, and middle order के अंदर sorted लग रहा है आपको, so you can have your 11 around him. मैं श्रेयस का बात नहीं कर रहा because they still have to establish themselves in the red ball format, but with KL Rahul you don't need that kind of assurance right now. You just want him to score runs, and so far in South Africa in the first innings against England, he's looked good, boss. So don't be surprised if KL Rahul is kind of considered for captaincy again.
Okay. Next question, please. Oh, this is regarding the horrible pitch. Again, a question around
टॉस
pitch.
करने के
Vineet.
लिए
Huh.
टॉस करने के लिए टॉस के लिए कोई तो जाएगा.
Uh, nice one, Vineet. I really like this answer. So, के मुझे लगता है आपको आपका जवाब मिल गया हो, तो आपको कैप्टन चाहिए टॉस करने के लिए, बाकी तो भाई पिच के भरोसे. Let's move to the next one, please. Ankar Biswas is asking what happens to players like Rahul Jaddu in crunch situations. Didn't have much of expectations from Gail Iyer. तो उनको expectation थी नहीं, उनको थोड़ी expectation थी राहुल और जड्डू से, पर उन्हें भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. Taus, what's your take?
Iyer has been a champion on these kind of tracks. See, आप लोग शेल में चले गए थे. बेसिकली टीम इंडिया वेंट इनटू अ शेल स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम रोहित शर्मा. आई मीन रोहित शर्मा कांट प्ले लाइक दैट. मैं पहले से ही कह रहा हूँ कि यार कॉम्पैक्ट डिफेंस नहीं है. यू नीड पुजारा एट नंबर 3. तो यहाँ पर पुजारा काइंड ऑफ बैट्समैन एट नंबर 3. यहाँ पर रोहित शर्मा से लेकर बाकी सब यू नीड टू गेट दोज रन, यू नीड टू अक्यूमुलेट. यू कांट जस्ट गो आउट देयर रेस्ट एंड पीस. वहां पर रेस्ट एंड पीस नहीं कर सकते. आपको जाके देना है, आपको इंटेंट दिखाना है. और बैसबॉल जो आप देखते हैं, आप ओली पॉप ने कितना, आई मीन ही इवन इफ ही गॉट टू रन 84 रन्स इन बाउंड्रीज, ही वाज ऑन द बॉल, ही वाज ऑन द टोज. आप वहां पर चुपचाप नहीं बैठ गए थे. these guys were struggling. Iyer has a chance. I mean, he knows how to play on these kind of conditions. He will bounce back, I'm sure. गिल का एक मसला है जो हम सबका मसला है, और उसका भी मसला तो सीरियस है. उसको तो खेलना है, जगह चाहिए टीम में. That is one issue. Rahul and Jaddu did in the first innings. यार, you should be happy that Jaddu ने कुछ किया है. Rahul, he'll stay back. That's the want. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Taus, for joining with us. So we'll see you tomorrow with another live session on Cricket Next. Thanks a lot for being here with us. Now we'll take last few questions, and we have Vineet, Sahil, Kanav to answer them all. Would request all of our viewers to send your questions quickly so that we can take your questions. Sports fans saying both tests which we have played against bazball, we were in dominating position. That fifth test too, we were winning similarly, but England batters showed their mettle in second innings. This is about bazball. Vineet.
I don't know. Baseball में मैंने भी काफी लिखा था, मैंने भी देखा क्या करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे. The way the kind of baseball they played in Ashes, you know, everybody was just going hammer and tongs. 150 का 150 का at least strike rate था, वो यहाँ आपको नहीं दिखा. I would not categorize this as a baseball approach. I will say that this was an intentful approach. He putting the pressure on the bowlers. I was just looking at the stats where when was the last time India scored the highest run they scored. Funnily enough, I came across a scorecard. Chennai 2008, England. India were chasing some 380 odd runs Virendra Sehwag started off with a 68 ball 89. ठीक है, अब आप वो स्कोर कार्ड देखोगे, बोलोगे यार ये तो बैसबॉल तब से खेलता था. It was not baseball. It was just pure intent shown and putting the pressure on the opposition. So it's not baseball. Why did we lose? 180, 190 lead के बाद, if you still play very timidly, if you still are not proactive, this is again going back to that 45-minute discussion that we had. You had your chances, you just did not seize it. England got the opening, they seized it.
Yes.
अब आप इसको कैप्टनसी की वजह से बोलो या ओली पोप की वजह से बोलो या टॉम हार्टली की वजह से बोलो, that it was. And again, आपने जहां पे 420 430 बनाए उसको आप 500 कर लेते तो ये नौबत ही नहीं आती. So again, that was the thing. India were in a dominant position, but they did not seize that opportunity and they did not go for the kill, which England did when they had the opportunity.
So if people want to call it as baseball, then be it. But you think it was more about the intent from the English side?
Baseball would have been 150 plus strike rate. I'll say that.
Different people have different interpretation of the word baseball. How I see it is, it's not, I have said this earlier also in a live 5 or 6 months back, I don't remember, that baseball is not going out and hitting every ball. It's just the freedom to go out and hit every ball. You as a batter can, without any fear, go out and hit every ball if you want to. It's not that you have to go out and hit. So it gives you the freedom to play those reverse sweeps, those scoop shots.
No, you will end up taking those kind of players who are adept at going and hitting, right? I mean, that is why Ben Duckett is there.
Who are skilled.
That is why you don't have others. Yeah.
But the coaching management is not forcing them to go and definitely hit every ball and play with a strike rate of 150, 160. They are just the freedom that they have given to their batters that you won't be judged or dropped on the basis of that. So there's a difference between how people think of baseball. But yeah, next.
Yep. Next question. Do these senior players bring too much baggage, making the youngsters like Yashasvi into shell? Sahil, what's your take on this one? A lot of people have asked this question, similar kind of question. So your answer will be an answer to all those questions as well.
I think I kind of get that feeling that someone definitely asked Yashasvi to bat the way he did, because it was not the way he batted in the first innings. That stark contrast of both the innings and the way he approached, I think वो difference दिख रहा था, और कहीं ना कहीं वो it didn't come naturally to him. It's not that Yashasvi is not capable of doing that. I remember innings जहाँ पे वो 40 बॉल पे 0 पे खेल के स्टार्ट किया है, Ranji Trophy, Dilip Trophy. I'm not recalling what exact instance it was, but I've seen him play these slow knocks, but it wasn't required on this pitch. If you ask me, I'll again repeat for the sake of repeating, a 10 over 50-55 start, even a 60 start would have put England on the mat, and it was Yashasvi who could have done that, because he was riding high on confidence in the first innings. He's fresh from good outings in the white ball series 2 in the T20 format. He is high on confidence, right? So give him the license to go and attack, because you're batting till 9. अगर 9 नंबर तक सारे ही टुकु टुकु करने वाले हैं इस विकेट के ऊपर, तो 9 तक क्यों खिला रहे हो? कुलदीप यादव खिला दो ना फिर, अगर इतना डिफेंसिव खेलना है तो कहीं तो अटैक करो. You can't be defensive and safety first in all 3 departments of the game.
Okay.
But Sahil, I know, not different. I do have a question for him when he said कि मेरे को लगा किसी ने जायसवाल को बोला होगा. मोस्ट लाइकली वो किसी ने द्रविड़ होगा. लेट्स अज्यूम दैट. यार लेकिन फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में तुमने दिखा दिया यार, तुम इस तरीके से खेल के रन मार के कर रहे हो. व्हाई वुड समबडी आस्क हिम? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सेकेंडली, व्हाई वुड यू लाइक फॉलो दैट? आप खेलोगे यार अपने हिसाब से ना.
I don't know यार, मतलब मेरे को एक कहीं ना कहीं फीलिंग आया, मतलब मेरे को वो जितना अश्योर्ड जायसवाल था, जितना फियरलेस था, मतलब फेस पे मेरे को बॉडी लैंग्वेज से थोड़ा क्यू आया कि समथिंग इज नॉट राइट. Something is not right about Jaiswal. This is not how I expected him to kind of approach this innings, because he bossed Hartley यार. मतलब उसने Hartley का टप्पा सेट नहीं होने दिया. Well, that was like intimidating.
Absolutely right.
And second innings he was like, I don't know यार, मतलब मेरे को I felt something was really off the way he approached.
Or something was bothering him.
No, not bothering. Or is it a case? Or is it a case, Sahil? Is it a case of individual about team? कि ये मेरा मौका था, मैं निकालने वाला था, मैं लंबा खेलूंगा, अनबीटन रहूंगा 100 पे.
Possible, ये भी हो सकता है. You never know what's going in a player's head, but
won't he
वो
back his
approach
own natural
off
game?
था, वो approach
But in
off था.
that, even in that process, won't he back his own natural game to do so instead
नहीं
of?
कनक, उसका
अगर
गेम
तुम्हें
दोनों
लंबा
है,
खेलना है, नहीं
उसका
लंबा
गेम
खेलना
दोनों
है, बिल्कुल.
गेम दोनों है. ऐसा नहीं है वो नहीं डिफेंड कर सकता, बट मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इस सिचुएशन में, इन सर्कमस्टेंसेस में एक ब्रिस्क स्टार्ट अगर जायसवाल दे देता, तो it could have been a different story, boss, because
It could have changed the whole story. Yeah.
ball on this surface is a better scoring opportunity than that softer ball, क्योंकि वो और रुक के आएगा. Deep ball तो फिर आपके बैट पे अच्छा आ रहा है, आप हार्डनेस पे you can get maximum purchase for your shots, unlike what happened with the softer ball where run making wasn't that easy for the Indian batters at least.
Okay. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next questions and request our panelists to make it quick so that we can take more questions. This one's from Siva. Is Jadeja injured in leg? Vineet, what's the update on Ravindra Jadeja?
Audible?
Yeah, now you're audible. Yeah.
Yes, he. There was a question also in terms of his fitness as well. It was asked to Rahul Dravid. He said, "Abhi tak he hasn't had a word with the physio regarding the same. He will have a word with the physio, and then they will give an update." But yes, he was injured during after that run out, and there was physios attending to him. But what is his status right now? Rahul Dravid did not give us any clear explanation. So in a day or two's time, we'll probably get to know. But yes, he was injured.
Okay. Why can't India play 2 matches against a good Ranji side on a spinning track as a practice for an upcoming test series? Sahil?
Sahil, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
I'm saying there are no spinning tracks in the country right now. If you look across Ranji Trophy north to south, everyone is just littering green tops, dishing out green tops. Everyone is looking for 6.7 points. There aren't any quality spinners in the circuit right now. Even if you talk about, top Ranji sides, everyone is looking for pacers. So there are no green tops. So वो सब change करना पड़े. There are no spinning tracks. They're all green tops right now.
हरियाणा में दिल्ली के साइड में जो स्टबल बर्निंग होता है ना, वहां पे जाके खेलना पड़ेगा, तब आपको स्पिन मिलेगा.
No, also, if there is a spinning track, I don't see India playing a practice match against a Ranji side. The Indian team
तो illogical, वो तो नहीं होने वाला.
Player नहीं खेलते, पूरी टीम कहाँ खेली?
Yeah. Next one. But leaving all things aside, do you think today is one of the best days of Test cricket? Australia, West Indies, England, India. Definitely, it is. I mean, the way West Indies won against
one of
Australia,
the memorable days for
incredible.
sure. That Shamar Joseph, damn,
what a story!
Superb,
what a story!
Superb. Yeah, and the way they have created history, it's really, really incredible. So yeah, KK, you are right there. Let's move to the next one. Suraj and Bumrah were in complete delusion on the last wicket. Why were they playing such risky shots? Can't believe Bumrah will be next Test captain with such poor temperament. We already discussed this and we have talked about this. So I would request you to please rewind a little and take Sahil's point in consideration because Sahil explained it beautifully there. So we'll move to the next one. Next question, please. I think Australia type bouncy pitch will help India. England don't do well in bouncy pitch. Quality spinners also come into play. Kanav, what do you have to say?
Sorry, I think Australia type bouncy pitch will help India. England don't do well in bouncy pitch. I mean,
भैया उनके पास ओली रॉबिन्सन है, जेम्स एंडरसन है, ओली
Mark Wood. Shreyas, I can see Shreyas Iyer having a back spasm. यहीं से मैच से पहले.
अभी तो जेम्स एंडरसन का नाम नहीं आया, वो नाम आते ही हो सकता है उस स्पैज्म की तरफ. Let's move to the next one. We'll just take 2 more comments and we'll end this live. A day for visiting teams, underdogs and comebacks. Oh yes, definitely. Next one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, Priyanshu, everyone's appreciating Shamar Joseph. The thing that he has done today is exceptional, incredible, mind-blowing, superb.
I hope Rodney Hogg appreciates him enough now. Rodney Hogg must appreciate him enough now and sees Craig Brathwaite's muscles.
I think he might have
fantastic reply from Craig.
What a statement.
Fantastic reply from Craig Brathwaite. मेरे को वो याद आ गया रामदीन का talk now with.
Yeah,
Talk
talk
now,
now,
Bharat.
Viv.
That's a typical West Indies player reply. That was.
Yeah, I think he must have seen the muscles now. So, yeah. For how long you would keep Sarfaraz out of the reckoning when our main batters keep failing? Can't expect our lower order to bail out every time. Sahil, a lot of former cricketers are talking about Sarfaraz. You might have seen their tweets as well. What do you have to say?
Now is the time to talk about Sarfaraz because he has proved himself against a visiting A side. That 150 against England Lions now puts him on that level at par with what Rajat Patidar did, because Rajat Patidar has been a clutch player for Madhya Pradesh over the years. He has been scoring those difficult runs, difficult tracks, knockout fixtures. Not that Sarfaraz hasn't, but I'm saying that you need to level up. And Patidar, do what he did for RCB in the playoffs, becoming the only uncapped Indian, I think, to score 100 in the playoffs. And then after that, continuing with that run for Madhya Pradesh in the domestic circuit, then scoring that
Man of
brilliant
the match
100.
in 2020 Ranji final.
Yeah, then recently scoring that 100 against England Lions when none of the batters did anything.
Yeah.
Similar performance Sarfaraz did in the last innings for India A. So I think these performances will strengthen his case, and now the chatter should grow louder because अब उसने वो एक level up किया है. आप यहीं खेलते रहोगे चाहे 2500 रन कर दो ना, सिलेक्टर्स आपको यहीं का प्लेयर समझेंगे. For you to level up, you need to score against better oppositions, and that is what Sarfaraz has now done with that 150. And I hope he will be in the 15 at some point during this series. I hope.
Well, let's see what
But
will
that's the
happen on
thing.
that front.
After the second test, will he get a chance? Because Virat will also be coming back to that place already. There will be a swap between Virat and whoever goes out. So
तो
it will
सिर्फ
be
उसका
tough.
स्वैप
For,
नहीं होगा ना भाई.
Kanav, there
श्रेयस
must.
अय्यर नहीं आए तो दिक्कत होगा. गिल के रन नहीं आए तो
Also,
वहां भी दिक्कत होगा. And Avesh Khan,
और ये
Avesh Khan,
discussion भी important है ना अब Kanav.
Avesh is no longer with the squad. He's playing Ranji Trophy for Madhya Pradesh. So
Yeah.
Avesh is no longer with the squad. So player release होंगे यार, क्यों नहीं होंगे? Might
and
as well
also
go and
one more thing, Sahil, I was wondering was, and I was just my thoughts is that Virat has said no for 2 tests because only squad for the 2 tests were announced. Can it happen कि third के बाद का टेस्ट
You
अनाउंस
never
होगा
know,
उसमें
boss.
विराट का नाम ही नहीं होगा,
Who knows?
उसका नाम
You
ही नहीं
never
होगा.
know.
उनको अनाउंस करने की जरूरत नहीं क्योंकि वो स्क्वाड ही
I
बाहर
think
नहीं आया है.
अभी आई थिंक जो एक सेफ्टी अप्रोच मैंने इसलिए मेरे को लगा बिकॉज देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ गैप बिटवीन द सेकंड एंड द थर्ड टेस्ट. मतलब काफी लंबा गैप है बिफोर एक्शन
हाँ.
शिफ्ट्स टू राजकोट. देयर इज अबाउट 8 to 9 days of gap. So
10,
that is
10,
why I
10,
think
10.
the safe approach was Virat missing the first 2 tests. At least it could well be the case कि वो third fourth भी ना खेलेगा. मतलब I hope the way the press release was looked very alarming to me at least. I hope things aren't that bad and we hear good things only from the Kohli household. So I hope he makes it for the third test because he's not someone who will like miss test cricket for fun. He holds it very dearly in his heart. And so I hope he'll be there for the third test. But there's still time. तब तक हो सकता है मैं नया selector भी मिल जाए यार. We are looking for a new selector any which way, which is expected to come before the third test. So things will change.
Okay, with that, we will move to the last question. And this from MJ. Sack Dravid and bring Shastri back, and apparently so-called Prince is better. Number 3, Vineet, you... Okay, all thumbs up to this. Okay, so MJ, I think you've got your answer with all the thumbs up.
In the previous live, me, Soumya and Animesh were discussing that sack Rohit and bring Virat back as the captain. So I think this is the season of bringing back old coaches and captains. The Shastri Kohli duo back in.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the last question for the day. Thank you so much, Sahil, Vineet, and Kanav for joining with me. And all our viewers, you can tag Sahil, Vineet, and Kanav, and you can ask our questions on social media platforms as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.